What's going on YouTube? Darksword255 here. The numbers may be randomly generated, but the content itself is not. And today we are jumping into my favorite raid Shadow Legends tool, RSL Helper, how I use it and how it can be beneficial to you. So today's video, guys, we're going to be going through all of the features that RSL Helper has to offer, how I use it, and how it can be helpful for you. Now, I'm going to try my best to move as quickly as I can through this video because there is a lot of information with this tool to be used for, for raid and how I really use it for raid. I'll timestamp throughout the video, guys, so you guys can jump around, but there isn't really an updated guide that I've seen on YouTube. So I figured that I would really fill that mantle for everybody. So let's go ahead and jump right into things. To become part of my team, click the link in the description right now to get Elenaril for free, as well as 3 more amazing epic champions as you level up. Here's how you do it. Log out of Plarium Play on your PC and uninstall it. Click the link in the description, register with a brand new email, launch raid, and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champion. Don't miss out on this chance to get a free Elenaril along with 3 epics as you progress through raid. Click on my link right now and let's get started. Alrighty, guys, so I have my raid Shadow Legends open on the left and RSL Hope open on the right, and there are a couple of major features from this tool that I really use. Now I'll leave a link down in the description where to download this, which Discord to use to get all of this information. There's a 50-page document going through every single feature that RSL Helper has. It is a very dense document. I've already read it and I've been using this tool for many years, but obviously the tool gets updated quite frequently. But we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go through some of the major tools and how I use them. So one of the main things I do, let's say, I know it's not CVC just yet, but for CVC normally there is a forge objective, which you get points obviously for doing the forge. So what I like to do with RSL Helper, and this is mainly like a bunch of stuff with gear, right? So let's say I wanted to craft all of this gear right now. Now, using the RSL Helper, having it open, you'll see that this icon is now checked off for forge active. I can go ahead and select all of the charms I want to use when forging. Again, this is just like an example. I'm not actually going to use my charms here, but this is just an example. I mean, you can kind of do it with the quick craft option, but the difference and why I like using RSL Helper is because you can have assigned cell files. And what are cell files? Where my mouse is right here are cell files. You can either use RSL's default cell files, or you can use another content creator's cell files. It depends on really where your account is. You got to be very careful which cell files you use, because you could by accidentally sell all of your gear depending on if you're a newer account and use like a late game file like mine, you're going to sell all of your gear and you're going to be out of luck. So be very careful with the cell files you end up getting. The Discord that I'm going to have in my description, guys, there are cell files there, but again, it really depends on where your account is. So the reason I'm using the forge here, and when I go ahead and use the forge here, I have 880 pieces of perception gear that I can craft. I'm not going to obviously craft 800, but let's just do 5. I'm going to craft 5 pieces of perception gear. So what I'm going to do for number of forges, I'm going to say 5. I'm going to have it automatically sell, and then I'm going to hit this little button right here for play. And now the gear is going to get crafted. And if it's against my cell files, it will automatically sell the gear that I am crafting. Boom, it just sold a piece of gear that I just crafted. And so now I don't have to really worry about it. So, and you can do this with all of your pieces of gear here. It's really nice, guys. Like I said, what I'll normally do is when CVC comes, I normally wait until it's a personal CVC. I'll just craft a ton of gear. I'll just craft a ton of gear just to make it fast. And then, like I said, it automatically sells. It'll tell you which artifacts it kept, and it will tell you which artifacts that it sold. So pretty cool. Same thing with how I use RSL Helper, guys. Again, gear is a big reason to use this tool. It's just in particular. So my gear is extremely it's overflowing. You can see that my inbox has a lot of gear. So what I could do if I want to basically sort through my gear and automatically sell the gear that I get based off my sell files, I can come over, and this will be helpful. You can always like click on these bars and it'll tell you what you're clicking on. Click on your inventory index. And now this is all of the gear that is on your account, not only the artifacts, but the accessories. So what we're going to do, since we have a bunch of gear in our inventory, what we're going to do is we're going to click on options, click on auto sell, and then click on show inbox. So now RSL Helper is going to look at all of the gear that is in your inventory. So I have 33 pieces of gear that is in my inventory that could be sold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button right here, the add all to inventory. And then I'm going to say sell selected items from inbox. And once I do that, it's now going to use the sell files that I have that I've selected, which, and like I said, it's going to compare, the gear in your inbox to the gear that you have, and it's going to go and automatically sell the gear that is in your inbox, which is really, really, really nice. What I normally do, again, I'm like just really like stacked full of gear right now. Let's say I'm like, oh man, like I need a gear cleanse really, really badly, right? Like I need a gear cleanse really badly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my inventory, just, where all my gear is. I'm 1600 out of 1600. Again, super down bad. We're going to click on auto sell check. So as you can tell, I have a lot of gear that I need to sell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, make sure that auto sell check is selected. And this is all of the gear according to my sell files that I can get rid of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the add all to queue. I'm going to go over here to RSL and click on sell, then click on add selected to sell list. Boom. Now it has imported all of the artifacts that need to be sold. I'm going to go ahead and hit obviously sell. Boom. And of course, like the game is currently experiencing issues. Okay, great. All right. So we love Raid, small indie company. So basically, like I said, it will automatically sell based off your sell files here. Also, what I really, really like to do is during artifact enhancement events or also during CVC, what you could do is roll your gear. Now, how do you roll your gear according to RSL Helper? Well, you could be like a madman and do like some people do, and you just go over here and you just click on every piece of gear and then you hit upgrade. Terrible system. Never do that. I mean, you can do that, but I don't do that. It just takes way too long. So let's say what I want to do is right here is the level of all of the gear that I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower all of this to, let's just say 7, right? So I have 42 pieces of gear that are not level 7 and below. So what I'm going to do is I upgrade, auto upgrade, move this to 8. Again, you want to have your gear at 8 because then I use another tool to, build my champions, and you need to be level 8. So we'll do level 8. Then we're going to hit play. And then now all the pieces of gear that you have selected will be rolled up to level 8. And the great thing about using the RSL Helper is if you want certain types of gear, or let's say, you want to only do boots here. I'm going to actually pause this. So let's say I only wanted to upgrade speed boots, right? Let's say I only wanted to upgrade speed boots. So I could do this 6 star. I don't care about the grade. I don't care about the type of the artifact set. We're going to do boots. Main stat will be speed. And then we'll make sure that we're going to be rolling up, boots, that are not rolled at all. So I'm going to, like, if I wanted to, I could roll up all of these pieces of gear to 16. So if I'm doing a fusion and I want quick, easy points, this is how I could do it. I could just search using these features and these parameters and then hit play. And then it's going to look for those pieces of gear and then upgrade them to level 16 for me. Okay, but I just don't want to do that right now. But you get the gist. Really, really important. You could also do like really specific like gear conditions. Like you can look for the amount of rolls and certain stats. You could also, for example, let's say I wanted to like look for only speed pieces of gear that had speed. You can put that in these parameters, and then if they don't have speed, you can select it and then automatically get rid of those. So this is a great tool. Again, I use it all the time during artifact enhancement events. You do the same thing with your accessories as well. But again, those are the two big ones that I like to do. The Reforger to build your artifacts, and then going through and leveling up and getting rid of gear that you get from Hydra, clan boss, so on and so forth, you can immediately just get rid of this way, and you get a bunch of silver from doing it that way. Now, another major feature that I use for RSL Helper is multi-leveling. This is pivotal for champion training. So for an example, you know, there's a champion training event happening right now. So what you can do is you click on this right up here, the multi-level XP, set food, and then what you want to do is calculate. You hit the calculate button, and then it will calculate your food or like champions that you can use to to auto level. Then what you're gonna do, like let's just say champions that are three star. We're gonna hit auto select, and it will automatically select those champions, right, that I want to level. Again, you don't have to do the auto select. You can just, select yourself, but, auto select, hit play. Obviously, the lead is going to be your farmer. So obviously, I'm going to be using Ethos here. And what's going to happen is when I hit play, it's going to pull after this first run. It will pull all of the champions that I want to level up. So if you need to level up a lot of champions, or if you're doing, like I said, certain like champion leveling events, this is the easiest way. Walk, boom, 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 and then play. And then it's going to level everybody to their max level, and then like spit out new people when it's, when these people are at their max level. So, really impactful. I really like using the multi-level. If you could also select like all to next level or all the max XP, not HP. So let's say that this right here, this guy is level 3, is a 3-star, and he hits level 30, but these two don't. You could basically tell RSL Helper to continue to run until everybody is that max level. So, I'm gonna burn through all my silver by accident while I'm talking. So that's like a really, really impactful thing that the auto battle earlier does, as well as there are 2 big features. Well, actually, technically 3. It's 3 different features of the game. So let's say you want to do Hydra, I almost said Chimera, and you want to, let's say, all my guys have scrolls, but let's say that you want your Phoenix here to get max scrolls. So what you can do right here, do you see how it says content specific required? Now, and it says the max amount of scrolls. Now, what you can do is you can run effective resources, and what is going to happen if I hit play and just walk away, this will auto battle until Phoenix gets all of the scrolls. And it takes, I think it's like 170, 180 battles to like max scroll somebody, but this will automatically do it for you. It's very, very helpful, especially now that there's super raids, but you just, like I said, you just hit play and then it will keep running until your Phoenix or whoever your champion is you want to level all the way with scrolls can do this. This content specific requirements is super, super important. Now, what I have discovered recently, and this is like super, super huge. So my main account has started to be able to hit Ultra, Nightmare, Chimera. But, for us to knock it down, I really need to hit a specific metric of damage. But, and again, this is a newer thing that I discovered. Down here is the amount of damage that I am trying to aim for. So what I could do, right, is I could say I want to do 500 million damage to Ultra Nightmare, right? Now, what is going to happen is when I hit play, it's going to auto battle this until I get to that 500 million threshold. And so basically it's going to reset until you get to that 500 million. And then what's going to happen, it's going to, like at the end, it's not going to automatically consume your key. It's just going to set, it's just going to get to the end screen and show you that 500 million. So what I like to do is, since I have to, I don't have to watch this, it'll automatically do it before I go to bed. And because like I said, I really want to hit that max damage, I'll just hit 500 million, go to bed, and then wake up and see, it'll be done. It's really, really nice. And yes, I understand that Hydra has the quick battles, but the thing about the quick battles, especially for Titus teams, is like there's a lot of RNG, and I would rather not burn through my quick battles than I would just be able to, for example, go to Hydra, go to Nightmare. Here's my Nightmare team. I want to do 1 billion damage, so 1,000, bam, hit play. And then this will run until I hit 1 billion damage. So I can leave to go to work. I can go to sleep and leave this running. And then this will constantly run and reset and run, reset and run, reset and run until you hit that damage threshold. And of course, like obviously, you know, you need to know how much damage you can actually do. So this is just not running in like perpetually, right? But this is a really cool feature, like I said, that they've added instead of just burning through your quick battles, or let's just say you ran through your quick battles by accident and you have a team that you want to hit a certain threshold, but like you don't have the time or like whatever, you could have RSL Helper help you automatically do that. Pretty cool. Like I said, it's a new feature that I didn't even know existed until I read this 50-page document. What is also really, really cool, if you come over and hit this and expand it and do Chimera trials, what you can do is you can throw in your Chimera team. So let's say this is my Chimera team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first one. This will be my lead. And obviously the lead is Wix. And we're going to double click. Then obviously we're going to do Donnie, double click. And then we'll do obviously Titus, then Lady Mikage, and then Ramontu. And then this week we are on rotation 4. Right now it is Void, and we're going to be doing Ultra Nightmare. So now this is telling me theoretically, if I were to run this Chimera team, this is the most amount of trials that this team potentially can give me. And these are the potential rewards that it can give me by running these champions, obviously the gear. And it also will tell you, I mean, right here, right? What champion unlocks certain things, right? Throughout this. Very, very insightful. So if you're building a Chimera team, or if you already are running a Chimera team and you're like, man, how, like using these champions, what is the most amount of trials that I can do? The helper will tell you how many trials the champions can do. Like look at this. You know, it's telling me that like damaging Chimera when it's under a fear or a troop fear, this is the ram head, Ramontu can do. Damaging the Chimera when it's under a weaken, I have 2 champions that can help me hit that trial. So really, really insightful and really, really helpful. Like I said, something that, you know, again, if you build a Chimera team, it will tell you the max trials, and then you can kind of aim to try to hit those max trials. Really, again, like I said, I keep saying it, super, super insightful. Now, there are a bunch of other features that I don't personally use. You can do like mission tracker, which is nice. For example, it will track how many more missions. So these are all the missions for Marius that I need to do and which ones I already have completed in this list. And the only thing I have is hitting, you know, gold 3. Great. But these are all of the different missions that it's tracking. So earned 6,000 soul coins from the Iron Twins. I'm at 1590 out of 6,000. So it will tell me, instead of me having to go and like try to find and like navigate, you know, all of these different areas. Same thing with event tracker. You know, it will automatically import what the event is happening, and you can, you know, look at all of your events right here instead of going and being like this. Oh, I wonder what I'm doing for, you know, this event, and then clicking through every single event, which is, you know, tedious when you could just look right through here, and it'll import your score, your current points, and like the target points. Normally you have to do like a battle. I'm already done with these 2, so ignore that. And there are 2 last features, guys, that I try my best to use. That is the shard tracker. It is huge. This will, if you have RSL open and you are pulling shards, this will track the amount of shards that you have pulled and then compare it to the mercy system, right? So I have pulled 40 void shards, 24 of those. Like I've also, you know, I pulled 24 of these have been epics, but also, like I said, it'll tell me down here how close I am to being in mercy. So a lot of this game is like, you don't really remember when you're pulling or how many you pulled or so on and so forth. This RSL helper will track that. And that's really, really helpful because, again, let's say that I was close to mercy on primals, and I'm like, okay, I know that there's a 10x on a mythical that I want. I am very close to mercy. Therefore, this would be the time for me to push for this, you know, this shard. The only downside is, you know, if you have to clear your history, like clear your save file within RSL, you lose all of this. Or if RSL helper is down when you're pulling, obviously this is not tracked, but you can, you know, I can change this number and add to it. But again, you know, it's kind of a bummer when you have to pull and RSL helper is down. Normally during big patches, the developer would bring it down to make sure that it is patched. Finally, guys, you can use the tools, and this is how to do a calculate bundles. So let's go and look at a bundle real quick and compare it to what RSL Helper says. Okay, so we are going to do this rank 4 chicken. It is $39. It is a $39 pack. Would help $39.99. Okay, so it is going to be 24 chickens, 180 potions. So according to RSL Helper, this is not a good pack. According to RSL Helper, this is not a good pack. Let's go ahead and try out another one. All right, let's go ahead and check out this energy one. So this is, let's just say $60. This is $60. It is 6,000 energy and 30, and it's going to be 50. So according to RSL Helper, this pack is very, very good. A very good pack. 6,000 energy, 30. So, you know, if you don't use some of the other creators that do like pack reviews, this is a way to see if you're getting your bang for your buck. You know, the RSL Helper is chock full of tools and resources, guys. There are some additional tools that I did not go over during this video, but these are the main tools and the main ways that I use RSL Helper literally every single day during fusion events, during a CVC, all of these different events, guys. So if you found that this video helpful, please let me know down in the comments. I know that this is a bit of a long video. I do apologize, but you know, again, have not seen a tool review or walkthrough really in a while. So hopefully you guys find it helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I will see everybody in the next video.